to order. Wednesday, January 16th. First item on the agenda is the review of and vote on the minutes of the regular meeting of December 19th. Any questions on the minutes?
No, I don't have any questions.
No question.
Could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Accept
Second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills and communications and warrant. Any questions on the warrant?
I have a question.
Yep.
On 5876, check number, and also 5885.
All right, 5876, that was A&M Associates. That was for the electrical box out here.
Outside.
Yes, that was paid through the CIP money. And 5886 was the electrical work for the box.
Contractor?
Yes.
Okay.
And then two, just so, because I saw this one too, and, no, I'm sorry. 5885 is our insurance, that's our insurance for the year. They switched our company, so it used to be with a different company, now it's with Hayes Insurance. So that's our insurance. And then, 5909 is actually the electrical contractor for the box.
Any other questions?
None.
No.
Could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
Then the director's report, she's ready.
Yes, I am ready. Unfortunately, there was two things that we tried to get on the agenda for this week. The fencing company. We did send out for more than one bid. Two companies haven't come out yet. We did get a bid. I don't want to go over it until all three of the bids come in. So I'm hoping with this, and they're working on the generator box. Hopefully they're going to finish today.
They're supposed to.
If they finish today and DHCD and the gentleman that's the engineer that's overseeing comes by, then hopefully we can have a meeting, not next week, the week after, to get this approved, and so that way we can approve payment on final completion of the generator job and also on the fencing job. So we can get the fences up. We're not having a problem, but the wind's blowing the trash over. So once the fence in, it's gonna stop that problem. So that, and then also, during that meeting, I put on here to vote to approve the CIP plan. I'll talk about that in a minute, but that also has to be tabled, and I'll talk about why in a second. So there are a few things on here that definitely have to be tabled, and hopefully we can call a special meeting for another 3 weeks from today.
So you want us to vote on the fencing job?
We don't have all three quotes. We need 3 quotes before we can hire a company. So I'm going to table the vote to hire the fencing. I am also going to table the vote to approve.
You table that, or does the board or table that?
I don't know.
Well, it's on the here.
Yeah, if the board will vote to table it, only because of the fact that I only have one bid and we can't hire a company unless I have 3. So
Unless you have 3.
unless I have 3. You need 3 bids to get.
I know, but we had this company for a long, long time.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the one above here, the fencing. This I have, the
Yes.
fencing company for the
fencing?
yes, the fencing company.
Could I have a motion to title number 6, the hire fencing company?
I'll make a motion. Yes.
Second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, I have a vote to continue our contract with Fenton Wall. It's that time of year. Their contract is for the period July 1st, 2018 to June 30th of 2019 for the last fiscal year. The amount of the fee, it's going up to $619. So I just asked the board, we have no problems, I mean, I probably with all the other increases other people are getting. The contract for DHCD for the monthly accountant fee will be $619. So I just asked the board to vote to continue having Benton and Ewell as our accounting firm.
I'll make that vote. Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that, this was just a reminder on that board training to the board. I believe, I'm not sure when it has to be done. I believe it's the 30th, but before you leave today, I will just remind you of the exact date. The next item on the agenda is a vote to approve the CIP plan to submit to DHCD. We did have a meeting, Mike, myself, and Greg from RCAT last week, and we definitely had a CIP plan in place to bring forward, but there's a new grant that came out that really could have a definite benefit to our authority. So we decided to hold off on the CIP plan until we get all the information on the grant. The grant being, it's some kind of insulation grant, stating that if we do insulate the buildings to code or what they're asking for, that they would put so much money towards the vinyl siding project. So any money that we get for grant money is less money we have to take on our CIP, and it gives us more money to spend in another area that may be needed. So right now we're in the works to see if our authority, if they'll approve to give us that grant money. If they do, then it's going to be almost $100,000 in savings for the Housing Authority CIP plan. So.
Definitely, we'll wait.
So what that involves is it's bringing the insulation on the out. What is it?
Yeah, it would be insulating under the outside walls up to code. I don't know if we can do it on, well, obviously not the brick sections, but the wood sections before we do the siding. We can put the foam on it and see if we can get it up to code. And like he said, they'll pay, you know, towards the siding. And I guess it's a fairly new program, and they have the money, and they're looking for authorities to apply. So I think we're right on it first round or whatever it is. So sounds pretty good. And plus we're not due for the siding till probably the fall or maybe next year, however it is. So we got time, a little bit of time yet.
Yes, into our plan for July 1st of next year. So we do have some time on that, and if we do have the extra money, there's a few things that we're looking into that other authorities are changing, and we're starting to realize that we need to change them too, which would be like the electrical panels. A lot of the electrical panels are obsolete. It's hard to get what do you call it?
You can't get them, yeah.
So we could take $100,000 and put it towards that project. That'd be great for us. I mean, it would put us in a really, really good place.
So I just have a question on that. This is brick, so they're just going to cover over the brick.
No. We're just going to ask for the vinyl siding. I mean, we're
Wood
going to
sections.
see. Yeah, we're going to see if we can still get only the wood sections. The brick would stay the same. Or they might have some other way to insulate between the walls. We don't know. We're going to let the engineer come out, and the engineer will let us know, you know, if we qualify. And if, you know, the brick might be one reason why we don't qualify, but there may be something that they can do to get the insulation up to code. I'm not sure. So I guess we'll just let the engineer come out and do their thing and let us know. So
Yeah, maybe if the sections that we are doing, if maybe they'll just prorate it, you know, doing something to get it up.
That's what I thought. Maybe if we get the full
like
100,000, even if we get a percentage of that, it's still money that we don't have to spend. So.
And I think in the brick they have, at least when I worked on the house in Acushnet and New Bedford, look like owl or whatever, and if they can reach,
Yeah.
they
Oh, like a blow-in type
Yeah,
thing?
blow-in
Yeah,
type
yeah. Well, just let the engineer
Yeah.
come out and, I mean, we could say say what we think, but it's always, when they come out, it's always something.
That's what they want. It's not what we
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Don't let them make
I
that
remember
decision.
that because what the blowing thing was,
Yeah, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. So I asked the board that we, if we can also table, the CIP plan, it's not ready, hopefully when Greg, our capital representative, gets the information on the grant, then we can go ahead and bring this, forward to the board to be approved and sent in for, approval through DHCD.
Got a motion on that?
Make a motion table that.
second,
All in favor?
Good.
aye.
Aye.
Okay. I have review and update employee vacation policy. This was due to an AUP audit that we had. It's not so much just the vacation policy, just the employee policy in general. During our AUP audit, they came out, they sat down, they went through everything, and there was one finding, which was the same finding as last year. So I did some information and found out how it works, and so I just want to give everybody a copy of this. And I also have in the office, because it just came off, I just printed it out, I have a full report on everything, and it'll go, and you can read through it. This is the report right here, and it tells you exactly what they looked at and what their findings were, and this is the only page that had a finding, so I just printed this page for you. And what happened is, we've been using the same book, so I literally, the same employee policy book for a while. So I did get, and I'm in the process of getting other employee policies from smaller housing authorities, and I'm going through them. Sometime I'd like to sit down with you and go through each section to see, you know, where our policy is compared to theirs. Our policy definitely needs to be updated. The one thing that I do want to update right away, and then we can look into everything else, is the fact that if you look on this page, the only finding they had was the personnel policy does not address the payout of accrued sick leave. So in every policy, you're supposed to just let the employee know when they leave, if they have any sick time, what happens to it. So going over this with the accountant and just finding out through our budget, it states we've always had a policy. We have a policy in place, but it's just not on the employee policy, and it's not set in the book. So right now, the current policy, and we should just keep it the same until we review the whole policy, is the Acushnet Housing Authority has a policy right now that if any of the employees leave, they don't get any accrued sick time. The only person that accrues sick time is the executive director. Right now, I just asked for the board vote that we keep this policy in place just until the next month or two. That way we can review what other authorities do, and to see if financially, you know, we can put that in the policy, and if the board wants, what the board wants, because basically you guys set the policies. So right now the policy states that any employee that leaves does not get sick time, but the director, if she leaves, only gets 20% of the accrued sick time. So you don't get the whole thing, you only get a percentage of it.
What page is it there?
This is what I have right here. This was my answer that I sent back. When you get a audit, you have to answer. So my answer was the Acushnet Housing Authority is currently working on a new revised employee handbook. We are hopeful to have the Board of Commissioners vote to accept the new version before the next fiscal year. Today I asked the board just to keep the policy in place that has been set for so many years in the past, which is what I explained to you before, so I can actually add it to the employee handbook, and then over the next couple of months review certain sections of the handbook, and then create a whole new employee handbook for the employees of the Acushnet Housing Authority.
Fine.
So,
So you're asking us to vote on this?
I'm just asking you to vote to keep the current policy in place, and also vote that it be added to the policy that we have right now.
That's true.
So I can just add it in wording, so
It's not
if we
bad.
do get audited again and the whole policy isn't completed, at least this is in the policy for the, the auditors will see that we did add what is already in place onto our policy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for that. That we go with the same draft.
First motion,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, sorry. And that's actually all I have right now. I had the 3 big things to talk about, but, right now we have to table them, and hopefully we can have a, like I said before, a special meeting to approve those 2 items, also the work being done on the generator.
That's fine. Sounds okay.
Aye on that.
What else you got there?
That's all I have.
You good?
Yes.
Wow.
Nice and
Okay.
easy.
That's great.
Maintenance report, oh, wait a minute. Could I have a motion to accept the director's report?
I'll make a motion, accepting the director's report.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, happy birthday.
Thank you. Everything's been going pretty good, just normal maintenance, like Lynn said, we've been working, the generator's been hooked, being hooked up. Just normal maintenance at Garfield Street, there's, little things that go on there, but everything seems to be pretty good. We've just been working on projects and trying to think of more projects to do if money's available. So, it's pretty quiet.
Good. Got it?
Yeah, that's
Could I have
it.
a motion to accept the maintenance report?
Aye.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
No expenditures this morning?
No, thank you. It's too cold.
Okay. Do we have a date for the next meeting? Or do you know that yet?
The third Wednesday of February is February 20th.
That'll be our regular meeting,
Yeah.
so we're gonna keep that on the calendar, so we might have a special meeting called the first week in February.
Okay.
February 20th.
February 20th will be our next regular scheduled meeting, but we may send you or call you with a special meeting for, the first Wednesday, depending on if I have all the information to present to the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you don't have the coach for the,
Yeah, if I don't have it, then we'll just wait until the regular meeting.
Yep.
Any other business to discuss? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.